Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of District Administration's Solution Showcase. My name is Kurt Isley-Durley. I'm the magazine's web seminar editor, and I'll be your host. In Solution Showcase, we profile new and innovative products and solutions that can help you meet your district's needs in a short video overview. Our guests for this edition are Ron Martella and Nancy Marchand Martella. They are the co-authors of SRA FLEX Literacy, a comprehensive reading and language arts intervention system from McGraw-Hill. And they're going to tell us about SRA FLEX today. So, Ron and Nancy, it's great to have you both with us. I will turn it over to you at this point. Welcome to Solution Showcase.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Today's webinar is entitled Current Trends in Reading, Highlighting SRA FLEX Literacy. On the National Assessment of Educational Progress, or NAEP, students struggle with the complex demands of reading more complex texts across two text types, literary and informational. About 2/3 of 4th and 8th grade students read at less than a proficient level. Students performing at or above the proficient level on the NAEP assessments demonstrate solid academic performance and competency over challenging subject matter for their grade. As you can see, there's a clear relationship between vocabulary development on the right and the level of reading comprehension on the left. The lower the vocabulary score, no matter what grade, the lower the reading comprehension score. As vocabulary scores increase, the scores on reading comprehension assessments also increase. The purpose of this webinar is to highlight 4 current trends in literacy that affect learners in grades 4 and above. These trends include the following: Common Core state standards, response to intervention, elements of effective reading instruction grades 4 to 12, and the gradual release of responsibility.
The International Reading Association conducts a survey each year of what topics are hot or not hot for the upcoming year. 7 very hot topics were identified for 2014. Topping the list is the Common Core state standards, our first trend. Therefore, instructional programs must align to these important standards. Other topics on the What's Hot list include college and career readiness, informational and nonfiction texts, high-stakes assessments, close reading, deep reading, disciplinary content area literacy, and text complexity. A second trend is response to intervention, or RTI. Effective programs and assessments should be identified at tiers 1, 2, 3, and 4. In particular, those instructional programs identified as strategic or intensive interventions should target and remediate skill deficits in the most effective and efficient manner possible. A third trend relates to the 5 elements of effective reading instruction for older learners. These elements include the following: word study, fluency, vocabulary, comprehension, and last but not least, motivation. Instructional programs must address each of these 5 elements to be considered effective.
Now, a fourth trend is the use of a gradual release of responsibility approach to instruction. In this approach, the teacher or computer models, guides, and then monitors students as they are learning new skills. The teacher or computer responsibility decreases over time while the student's responsibility increases. Now consider these 4 trends as we overview SRA FLEX Literacy.
Literacy. It's a real problem. 2/3 of our students are at risk because they don't have the reading skills essential to succeed in classrooms today or society tomorrow. But there's a solution. a comprehensive reading and language arts intervention system, SRA FLEX Literacy, for grades 3 and above. Built to meet the Common Core state standards, SRA FLEX Literacy transforms today's classrooms through 3 learning experiences that combine the best of computer-based and teacher-led instruction with collaborative learning. Powerful technology, flexible implementation options, and data-driven instruction prepare struggling readers and writers with the skills they need for college and career readiness. Powerful technology ensures students receive individualized instruction at their level, access to complex text, and authentic opportunities to develop 21st century skills. Flexible implementation options accommodate 90, 50, and 25-minute classes and support mixed ability grouping while still targeting individual student needs. Data-driven instruction provides true, differentiated learning and supports decision-making at a student, classroom, school, and district level.
SRA FLEX Literacy meets the Common Core state standards in 2 systems, elementary and secondary. In fact, in the elementary system, 90% of the standards are taught and 85% are assessed. And in the secondary system, 85% of the standards are taught and 80% are assessed.
In the digital experience, students interact with skill-specific text at their own lexile level. This is particularly important for response to intervention efforts for students receiving strategic or intensive interventions at tiers 2, 3, and 4. The digital experience addresses skills related to reading, literature, reading informational text, reading foundational skills, and also language. The digital experience targets 114 skills across 480 lessons and approximately 5,000 activities. If you look to the right-hand side of the slide, you'll see that there are 9 entry points within a computerized lexile-based placement test.
In the print experience, students interact with challenging text in a shared read-aloud format. The print experience addresses skills related to reading literature and reading informational text, along with language. In the project experience, students interact with challenging text as they collaborate on 21st century writing-centered projects. The project experience addresses skills related to reading informational text, along with writing, speaking and listening, and language. The following video describes SRA FLEX Literacy and the Common Core state standards.
FLEX Literacy was built to address the anchor standards for the Common Core in English Language Arts. When we were developing FLEX, we had the Common Core state standards in hand. We were able to say, here are the Common Core standards. How do we best teach to these standards? We were developing them side by side in partnership. The focus on the Common Core is to develop literate individuals to meet 21st century demands and to make them college and career ready. So an important way of looking at that would be to begin with the end in mind, which says where do we ultimately want students to go, and that is to be college and career ready. And what we do then is unpack these standards that seem so far into the future but really aren't. We unpack those and we back it up to where we say, okay, what are the prerequisites that need to be taught? And we teach those in a very methodical fashion to ensure that we are now moving ahead in the right direction, beginning with the end in mind, so that we can allow students to be college and career ready, literate individuals, and to handle the tough, complex text demands that students are now facing in schools. An important aspect of Flex Literacy is a focus on text complexity. We move students from a beginning reader level to a Lexile level of 1100. We also have a careful balance between informational text and literature to ensure that students get adequate practice in both avenues. Flex Literacy has a key component that involves close reading. And in close reading, students get into the text, they highlight, they take notes, they do much more higher order thinking skills applications. That aligns with promoting college and career readiness skills and promoting much more literate applications of knowledge to meet 21st century demands.
SRA FLEX Literacy focuses on the 5 elements of effective reading instruction for older learners. Again, word study, fluency, vocabulary, comprehension, motivation, taught within a gradual release model. Students start with explicit modeling and end in maintenance-based review. The following video describes the gradual release model within SRA FLEX Literacy.
In Flex Literacy, we use the gradual release of responsibility instructional model, and essentially in that model, we're moving students from novice to expert. So for example, in the digital experience, the computer would provide the highest level of support, and then the computer gradually would fade out the level of assistance. And as the computer is fading out, the student's level of responsibility is increasing so that the students are being required to do more and more and more only when they are more successful and are performing the skills at high levels. In the print experience, the teacher assumes more of the responsibility at first, but then the students are going to be required to do more and more as the teacher starts to do less and less in terms of the actual teaching. Students now are much more confident, skilled learners because they have the skills to be able to perform those different activities at high levels. And the same holds true for the project experience. The teacher, again, would assume more of the responsibility initially and then start to release that level of responsibility as the students become more confident in their skills and performing the projects. So what we're doing is we're gradually releasing the level of assistance as students become more competent and more confident learners.
In summary, there are 4 takeaways from this webinar. Instructional programs must address, first, the Common Core state standards, second, response to intervention, third, elements of effective reading instruction, and finally, the gradual release of responsibility. SRA FLEX Literacy was developed to address these trends.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Ron and Nancy. That looks like an impressive and comprehensive product. Now, let me ask you a few questions, if I could. First, how do you differentiate instruction within SRA FLEX Literacy?
Kurt, that's a great question. True differentiation is achieved in the following ways. First, there's a Lexile measure placement test. There's also ongoing assessment and progress monitoring that tailors instruction to each individual student's needs. Relevant remediation ensures students receive the support they need when they need it. If, for example, students are performing below 80% on any skill for 2 consecutive monitor activities, they will receive an online remediation. If they continue to struggle for 2 additional monitor activities, the computer will alert the teacher that an individualized instructional remediation is needed. On the other hand, if students perform at 100% for 3 consecutive monitor activities, they can skip ahead in those activities. Finally, critical thinking applications provide each student with practice and extension opportunities for previously mastered skills. So we do cover differentiation within SRA FLEX Literacy.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now, can you explain how data informs instruction within the program?
Sure. The FlexWorks online teacher tool helps teachers monitor student progress and easily targets the needs of each and every student to maximize instructional effectiveness. Relevant reporting is central to the program and includes reporting on the Common Core state standards, which of course is so critical. Additional critical information to decision making is provided at a student, classroom, and school level. Student performance data within the system automatically populates to aid teachers in planning their instruction. Assessment categories, again within FlexWorks, include diagnostic, formative, and ongoing assessments, summative assessments, and authentic performance assessments.
Okay, thank you. And finally, could you describe how SRA FLEX Literacy promotes positive classroom behavior?
Yeah, I'll take this one. The Flex Literacy was developed with behavior management in mind, and behavior management procedures were explicitly integrated within the program. There are 4 key behavior management approaches that are integrated in the program. First, classroom organization is clearly planned by teaching expectations and routines and by managing transitions. Second, effective instructional methods are used to keep students motivated on task. These methods involve scaffolded and differentiated instruction, positive and corrective feedback, structure and organization of the instructional routines, increased opportunities to respond, and motivational systems such as earning points and exchanging them to decorate a virtual room of their own. Third, students are taught self-management skills with a particular emphasis on self-evaluation of their academic and behavioral performance. And finally, students are exposed to social development opportunities where they learn how to collaborate with their peers on projects.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Ron and Nancy, for your great presentation. Now to our audience, if you'd like more information about SRA FLEX Literacy, I have the URL up here on the screen. Alternately, on your screen below this video, you see a form that you can fill out if you would like to be directly contacted for some more information about this product. So while audience members fill out that form, if they choose, I'd like to give Ron and Nancy the opportunity to wrap up what we've talked about here today.
We do appreciate all of you being here. We're very, very excited about SRA FLEX Literacy and all that it has to offer, particularly focused in on the 4 trends in reading, which include the Common Core state standards, response to intervention, the elements of effective reading instruction, and the gradual release of responsibility.
Great. Thank you so much once again, Ron and Nancy. And to our audience, thank you so much for being with us. That's it for this edition of District Administration's Solution Showcase. Thank you so much for watching.